Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Ekuegan. I stream on Twitch.tv/Ekuegan. You guys know I love Destiny. I'm probably like one of the top three people when it comes to hours in the game. And yeah, I just want to go over this Vidoc that came out today. I also want to say that I have new sponsors. We have Corsair and Elgato. And right here, what I have in my hand is a Wave 3. So if you don't have a Wave 3 mic, you're very interested on it. It comes with a mixer. And I am going to leave it up to the people that leave comments in. The best comment, I will send this personally to you for the best comment on this video, okay? Also, don't forget to, share with your friends if you like it. If you like my afterthought about it, the more the merrier. But all right, man, let's get into it. I don't want to keep you guys here. So Bungie tweeted out yesterday that there was going to be a Vidoc at 7 a.m. Pacific today, right? So everyone was hype. Everyone was ready to get, see what's going on. And the first thing I do is when I click on the link, you can see here, we see Spider on the throne, right? You see Spider, you see a hawk, or is that a bird? And you see Osiris. So this one was pretty crazy because I'm guessing if we're going back into Fallen and stuff like that, Spider might have, a few things to do with it too, right? That was like the first thing that was kind of showing off to us. All right. So now we know the name of the season. It's going to be called Season of the Hunt. We now have the Vidoc, which I'm going to go over in a second. But right here it says Destiny 2 Beyond Light kicks off on November 10th with Guardians traveling to Europa to investigate the threats, mysteries, and power residing there. Season of the Hunt also begins on November 10th. You will be able to start earning ranks and rewards from the season pass, claim your artifact, and begin to customize it as you power it up. This season's story mission and new Wrathborn Hunts activity will kick off the following week on November 17th. So I guess, we're going to get that seasonal activity, which is like Sundial or Vex Offensive, that kind of thing. But this one is called the Wrathborn Hunts. I'm sure, depending on whether it's on Europa or EDZ, we're probably going, we're going to be going around doing public events or whatever this activity is. Now, it says starting with the season of the hunt, most of the seasonal content, all of the sweet gear will be sticking around for all of year 4. We hope this alleviates some of the fun that has been present with past seasons. Now you can just jump back in and experience past season stories, activities, and loot anytime during year 4. And they also gave us a calendar, which is pretty neat, right? This is the calendar right here. And I feel like a lot of this we kind of known, like the day that it was going to drop, the day that the raid was going to drop, that we were given that. Now we kind of see what the seasonal artifact looks like. Empire Hunt beginning, it just seems like we're going to be going after some dark Fallen, which is pretty neat. Glassway Strike, which is a new strike that's coming in. I can't wait to kind of dive in there and see what it's about. There's a season mission beginning. I'm guessing Spider's gonna have to do something with that in the Dreaming City. I feel like Dreaming City might have a few changes just by looking at the Vidoc. We'll go back into that real soon. The first Iron Banner, it seems like they're just gonna bring back the gear that we already have. I was kind of excited. I was hoping that we were gonna get, maybe some of the D1 stuff coming back in since, they're pulling a bunch of stuff from D1, right? Why not bring some of the gear back? Who knows? The Dawning, because we're gonna be going into, Christmas soon and more. But the cool thing is, the Dawn ends in the new year, 2021. So let's hold our fingers together and hope to see what's gonna happen. Now, at the bottom, it also tells us we have new exotic weapons and armor, right? Besides what they've shown us on the website, Hawkmoon is there, Cloud Strike is there, No Time to Explain, Duality. I heard some rumors. This might be a spoiler. You might want to skip this part, but apparently it's a shotgun that when you aim it in, it works like a slug, and when you shoot from the hip, it works more like a normal shotgun. I'm not sure. That's what I was told. Salvation Grip, the Lament, the Icefall Mental, the Mass of Bacchus, Ethereal's Embrace, Dawn Chorus, Necrotic Grip, and Previous Scars. We've seen all of this in the previous video that they put out. All right. They also describe what Beyond Light players are getting and was free to everyone. It seems like the subclasses are only for Beyond Light. So, if you're free the player, you're not gonna have that. The grenade launcher quest. So I'm guessing that exotic grenade launcher is actually a quest. So, I guess we haven't seen the raid weapon yet. So we'll see, because everyone was thinking it was gonna be, that grenade launcher because it was a Stasis weapon, but I guess that's not what we're getting. All right, let's get into it. I kind of opened up the Vidoc in a different page so we can kind of, look at it together. And here we go. It's kind of cool how they start out too, right?
Beyond Light kicks off
the next darkness
trilogy of stories that we're trying to tell with Destiny.
And I feel like we're now finally tackling,
Players are going to go on a journey to discover the true nature.
I'm going to pause this real quick, but I feel like we're now tackling on, going Garden of Salvation raid and seeing that darkness, that whole statue thing. It seems like now we're finally going to dive in deep to it and see like what lies beneath that, because it seems like they had this cover over it, and we haven't seen who's behind it yet.
It's the beginning of players learning more about the darkness, and in fact going so far as to wield it.
I'm pretty excited.
It's about leaving comfort and safety behind, walking a different road than one that you may have believed you were destined for.
What makes something bad? What makes darkness dark?
Who's right?
And as you can see here too, like they showed Earth and stuff, they showed the moon. It seemed like they're really trying to align a lot of this together. So, us doing that mission again on that ship and also having that statue at the end, it seems like all of it is coming into play. And boom, magic, Aldrin is back in play too, right? We heard about Aldrin in the past. We heard that he came back to life. We seen the video. And then when the dawning came around, it talked about like Aldrin, having a mask on and hiding himself from us or whatever.
How are those learnings going to change the characters that you have gotten to know over the last 6 years?
It's kind of cool. We get to see like the Drifter and everyone kind of go into action a little bit. I love that. Whenever they turn these characters that we read about, that we learn about, and they actually like put them in the game, and you get to see animated scenes for them. It's so cool.
Beyond Light's really the beginning of a new adventure. Guardians for the longest time have been bathed in the light, sort of this altruistic force fighting back evil. And now we're starting to move into that gray area between the light and dark.
If the darkness reaches out, we must reach back.
I will not sanction this.
In Season of Arrivals, the Vanguard is divided. You have some characters telling you, we should fight these ships, and we have other characters who are saying, no, we should find out what they want. We should get to know them and understand more. But it definitely comes to a head.
This next year in
Destiny is really just about how all the different characters and factions are reacting to these disappeared destinations and what that means
and they're probably going to put vendors in different places. But just look at this, right?
It definitely comes to a head.
They're kind of showing us like the end of these planets.
This
or
next
what's
year in
gonna
Destiny
happen.
is really just about how all the
And then
different
the next
characters and
scene,
factions are reacting.
you see you going back to Spider. I feel like Spider knows a lot more than we think he does. And it's kind of neat to kind of see us going back to him.
Destinations
and then right after the scene, you see Osiris in the background and you see Cabal. It seems like Osiris probably found something that he might have been searching for that he then told Zavala. Or we're coming together now to tackle the darkness together. With the last mission that we did for this season, after killing Nokris and you walk in that room and you can see that darkness basically kind of influences, Cabal, Hive, Guardians, and Fallen. And all of a sudden you kind of see, I see this room and I see Cabal and Guardians together. It's almost like they now know that they have a bigger threat. I don't think this is peace with Cabal, but I feel like maybe they're pausing it to figure out a bigger evil. Don't get me wrong. I don't know the answer to this. I didn't write any in the script. But as you can see here, it seems like Osiris found a way.
As the pyramids have arrived in our system, not for the first time, but for the second time.
we're going to see the return of a character who's been absent for a pretty long time in The Stranger, and boy, does she have a lot to say, and she has a lot of time to explain.
When I know more, you'll know more.
She has shown up.
It seems like the Stranger's going to be a vendor as well.
To take on the darkness, and the only way to truly stop
you kind of see that, right? Like when you talk to her,
guardian.
or maybe we're going to go through the
Right on
story with
time.
her. I'm not sure. I am not sure. But so far, this looks neat.
Why did the darkness invite us here?
And then boom. This is one of the... I have never really noticed if our Guardians has ever talked. And this is one of the times where our Guardians ask questions. It seems like we're going towards where like our Guardians are going to be talking a lot more too. So it's pretty neat.
Europa is literally like a time capsule.
Europa is huge.
Killer destination.
I hope
freezing
Europa's
cold.
as
Desolate.
big
Some
as
of
they
the
talk
most
about it.
beautiful spaces
I want
I've
Europa
ever
to
seen
be
in a video
bigger or even better than the Dreaming City. That's what I want from Europa.
There was a lot built on Europa during the Golden Age, and a lot of that was built underground.
Think about the Dreaming
Clovis
City.
Bray had some research facilities there.
All of the
really pushing
hidden
the limits
aspects of it, taking the
technology
tincture and
and
going into
innovation
different
there.
aspects of
Maybe
it.
stepping into some things
I
that
hope
we shouldn't
I hope
have.
this is bigger.
Under the ice, all kinds of secrets.
I'm so excited for what players are going to find.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of hidden lore and a lot of hidden things at the beginning. All right. Now, I caught a glimpse of this, right? That is 6 Guardians landing. Why do I feel like this is the entrance to the raid? Right? I feel like that's the entrance to the raid. Maybe it was a teaser, but it looked like it. All right. That means the raid
The
is going to be in
storm
Europa
on
as well.
Europa was actually something we've wanted to do for a long time.
We wanted it to feel harsh.
The weather system is so awesome. Like, you're walking through an open space and all of a sudden things start happening.
Coming across like Fallen or Vex for the first time, you can barely make out the glow in their eyes.
The sound of the wind, the ice will change based on what the weather is looking like.
This is pretty
You'll
neat.
actually feel every piece of the environment changing around you to match the storm.
Whenever new content comes out, here's the thing. I normally I don't listen to game music or sound that much, but whenever it first comes out, those are like some of the few things that I cherish. The soundtrack, the effects, and just like the whole environment. And this seems like one of those things that I'm gonna be engulfing. You know? It's always about the beginning when it comes to this. Aramis, of course.
Europa itself is a pretty foreboding place. Aramis is there in advance of us, and she
Dude,
set up a forward.
think about this. Aramis has all this power and darkness, but she's still wielding the fucking Lord of Wolves, dude. That just tells you how OP Lord of Wolves is, because she found all this darkness power.
Europa itself is a pretty foreboding place.
Lord of
Aramis
Wolves.
is there in advance of us, and she set up a forward base. She has lieutenants who have gotten their hands on Stasis.
This
gotten their
scene is
hands on the
pretty
darkness,
awesome,
and they're
man.
learning to wield it.
One by one, we will rise again.
And so I think her motivations are really interesting too.
Today, we begin breaking free from our chains.
Aramis really challenges a lot of the ways that we think about light and darkness. She's gonna make you think about your relationship with the Traveler.
She's a compelling leader, and she has a vision. And especially
Aramis-
after the
Aramis has some
collapse
swag.
of their society, people, I think, the Fallen wanted someone to follow.
Is the light gonna be enough? I think we've seen that we need some new tools to fight our enemies with. Maybe it's time to fight fire with fire, or ice with ice.
One of the cool things that I've seen.
Is the light gonna be new tools to fight our enemies with? Maybe
Right
it's
here.
time to
Do you see how I feel like that's like a mix of like a Minotaur and a Harpy, and how like
fight fire with
it can
fire.
attack you? That's pretty freaking neat, man.
or ice with ice.
It is going to be really weird that the enemies can do what you can do.
Stasis is, not
but
just a set of
I
new
can't
supers,
wait
but
to
it's a
will
new damage
Stasis,
type.
man. I can't wait.
We've got Solar, Void, Arc, and now
One of the cool things that I also notice here is look at the
But it's a new damage type.
Look at the background screen. Look how dark that is. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Look how more detailed some of this stuff is, right? Just
we've got solar.
Look at, when it comes to it, I love the detail on this. Revenant, from a whisper to a raw, be the calm in the storm. Summon 2 stasis cameras, silence and squall that you throw one after another. Silence, create a flash freeze blast that freezes and damages targets. Create a stasis form that slows and damages targets caught inside. There's so much happening here, and I like how Bungie just puts a lot of detail here. I can't wait to dive in.
Arc, and now we've got Stasis.
The idea about Stasis, though, like as you can see here, when they went into the
Arc, and now we've
subclass,
got
it seemed like we're going to be unlocking more things in the future, like the aspects, and you can basically build different aspects. And I hope that there's just more than 2, you know, or maybe there's like a trick to like having a different one. Maybe like your abilities like basically change, because here I see there's 2 changes, right? That means probably Gambler's Dodge and Hunter's Marksman. And then you have the 3 jumps here, and then you have those 2. But hopefully these aspects kind of change that. Another cool thing that I noticed is they also show you this on this screen. So as you're building, I don't know if the aspects are going to change anything here, but it'll be pretty interesting to see. Also, I know a lot of people said this looks like a frozen hammer. I guess. Yeah.
Stasis.
The idea for Stasis all really came back from the gameplay idea of freezing someone.
I love Dave
That
Samuel.
was kind of the theme that everyone's kind of rallied behind. You know, Dima's an amazing concept artist, had some images that really kind of put us on the right path.
What
I
really
still
was
think the
landing
Warlock
with that
subclass
was
is
the more
going to be
crystalline notion.
ridiculously.
So when we say
powerful.
cosmic ice, that's kind of where the cosmic comes in.
Once he freezes solid, I'm able to hit him again and just shatter him in pieces.
The pieces break apart and explode,
Ooh,
and there's
look at that
sharp
bad boy.
shards that can damage you. So all of that kind of came together when we landed on that theme.
Also, the
Stasis
reason why I
is
say the
gonna not
Warlock
only change the way that you
super,
can
I
attack
feel like
or
it's going to
approach
be
combat.
really strong.
There's also some really
is
great
because
ways that you
it's
can
range,
upgrade it.
man. It's
Then
range.
you start
There's a
getting into like
huge
the more
stat as
interesting
well.
parts, things that we're calling aspects and fragments, which are additional ways to modify your subclass.
Woo! I can't
Aspects
wait to
are,
get into
a little bit
aspects.
more potent. And then the fragments are the things that are class agnostic, but depending on what your class is and depending on what your aspects are and how you want to play, you're probably going to be starting to select different ones in there. A little bit more potent.
I kind of want to go back
are the
here. You see how when we first look at the Hunter stuff, they didn't show much. But the cool thing is there's going to be aspects that go with fragments.
Things that are class agnostic.
And right now I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like there might be 12 altogether. So you can pick out of 12 fragments to put together with 2 aspects. This is going to be wild, man. Gain a bonus to weapon damage after freezing the target with stasis. -10 strength. It seems like instead of going out and getting like, you know, certain mods or whatever, or putting it on armor, this is just going to go straight into the subclass. This is pretty neat.
Your classes and depending on what your aspects are and how you want to play, you're probably going to be starting to select different ones in there. This is just the beginning for Stasis. We're going to continue to expand on it.
Oh,
We're
man,
just
this is
excited for
beautiful.
players to get their hands on this.
Look, Tomo has some sweet kicks on, dude.
When we're creating a new palette like Stasis, we do what we call a source jam. Everyone on the team blocks out about a week where we can say, okay, you're going to go out into the world, microphone, recorder, record anything that reminds you of cosmic ice.
That is pretty neat how they got the sound together.
That gives us the palette that we can build the eventual sounds out of.
I found personally that the best way to do it was at night. But doing screams, screeches, and blood-curdling yells is a little scary at night. Then I had a really rumbly stomach, and that also was recorded. There was also a breast pump.
It's
you
just
have to make
crazy,
use
like
of what you got.
how they go around. Like, dude, sound effect in Destiny is beautiful. That
And
sword,
beyond light,
man.
we have new exotic
That
weapons
sword
for you.
looks so nice. I still feel like No Time to Explain is gonna be
Instead of just being
very
the gun
powerful.
that refills your magazine when you land precision hits, you actually get a little time portal, and
Yep.
it starts spitting out rounds
Oh
alongside you.
man.
You can actually have that on top of the Arc Soul, so you can be your own little mini firing squad if you build for it. Another one we have is
That's
the
pretty
Lament.
sick.
It uses up your sword's energy to give
That
yourself
thing is a
new combo
chainsaw,
that ends
dude.
up in a big spinning slash.
Look at that.
Probably the largest selling point for a lot of people is that it slices right through barrier champions.
I think the largest draw for most people is actually going to be the fact that it is a chainsaw sword.
Any
Maybe,
physical
yeah.
boss in any strike, especially masters or grandmasters, where
But
there's going
beyond
to
light,
be
we really wanted
shields.
to create exotic armor pieces.
I mean, I still have to test out the sword, but
of your build
if it hits
around which
hard,
all the
man,
other
I
parts
can't
of your
wait.
build
I
could
can't
revolve.
wait to use that thing.
For example, the Titan gets the Icefall Mantle, which is a set of exotic arms that looks like it is crafted from Golden Age tech. When you activate it, you sort of slam your arms down, create a burst of stasis energy, and then you cover yourself in an overshield.
He walks.
The Warlock
That's not
exotic
bad.
is Necrotic
It
Grip.
isn't like he was like sprinting.
If you are facing a wave of thralls running
This
at
is
you,
probably going to be
you
the
can nail
most
them with your
used
melee
exotic
attack,
for
and
warlocks.
it starts to burst and sort of cascade through the whole group.
Okay, let's go back and notice something. Let's just go back and notice something.
Cover yourself in an overshield.
All right.
Stasis
I know
energy,
people said
and then
that
you cover
when
yourself
you
in an
when you put this on, you're not going to be able to move. But this guy can move. Watch this. Watch this. He was able to move when he put that on. So I'm not sure about that.
The Warlock exotic is Necrotic Grip.
Now look at this as well, right? With the Necrotic Grip, watch
If
this.
you are facing a wave of thralls running at you,
You see how the Warlock's melee is charged, right?
you can nail them
The Warlock
with
melee.
your melee
And look-
attack, and it starts to burst and sort of cascade through the whole group.
Watch this. After something died, the melee charge came back. So I'm guessing if you're able to kill and it does damage over time, you're going to get your melee back. So these are pretty nutty, man. These are pretty nutty. And of course, I don't know if you guys caught
Through the whole
attention to
group.
that, right? But do you guys remember this corner? If you play D1, you should remember this corner. Because up that little corner is going to be a screaming Omnigore. This is literally that strike brought back into D2. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait, man.
There's a
I'm
lot
gonna go as
there
a GM
for
is gonna be
newcomers coming in
crazy.
too. If you've got a friend who hasn't tried it out, it's a really great time to jump in on New Light, that entry experience for free players.
Last year, when New Light launched, we brought back a small portion of the Cosmodrome.
That doesn't look like a
This
dude.
year, we're bringing
That
back a
hand
much
cannon
larger
that we
portion
just
of the
saw that
Destiny.
looks like a dude.
Last year,
I think there was a few people talking about it.
Last year, when New Light
But
launched,
look
we
at that
brought back
fire
a
rate,
small
dude.
portion of the
That's a
Cosmodrome.
120 fire rate
Experience
right
for free
there.
players.
That looks great.
Hasn't tried it out, it's a really great time to jump
That
in
looks really
on
good.
New Light, that entry experience
That looks
for
really
free
good.
players.
My man just used the
Last year,
bootleg
when New Light
Allen.
launched, we brought back a small portion of the Cosmodrome.
I think 120s are gonna be
This year,
fine.
we're bringing back a much larger portion of the destination. It takes some of the
Did you guys see that
experiences
map?
started
Did you guys see that map? Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Maybe we can get the map again. It seems like
small portion of the Cosmodrome. This year, we're
so we're getting the Forgotten Shore, the Mafia, the Steps,
bringing back a much larger portion of the
the
destination.
Skywatch. Yeah, so all of it's coming back. And wait, I think there's only one strike, right? Or is there two?
Cosmodrome. This year, we're bringing back
So let me see. Fast travel. I
a much
only see
larger
one.
portion of the destination.
Okay, so there's two fast travel areas. There's two public events
Destination.
areas. And one
It
strike.
takes some of the experiences that started with original Destiny 1, but puts them and stitches them together in a different way and adds new things and tells a different story.
What you're going to meet in this new opening experience is a character with not one, but two names from Fast and the Furious, Shah Han.
Thank the light. I didn't think we had other Guardians on patrol
Well,
here.
he seems like another
What I
Golden Gun
love
hunter.
about the Cosmodrome
He has
is it feels like Destiny distilled.
He has the Trip Mine Gauntlets on. This is pretty neat.
Season of the Hunt picks up where Arrival's left off.
Other forces are taking advantage of the darkness to make their move forward,
Man, that looks so sweet.
including Xivu Arath, a sister of Oryx, and she's taking this opportunity to build up an army. And we're working with Osiris to try to stop her.
Osiris goes out, stumbles across these hive growths that are driving combatants crazy.
Osiris is in trouble, and of course, you're his only hope.
This part right here is so cool. Look who it is. All right. Before we kind of get into this, I'm sorry to say this. Bungie, Osiris is the strongest guardian alive. Why do you make him look like a sucker sometimes? Get the damn pulse rifle out of his hand, all right? Oh, no. Actually, that's the scout rifle. Get the scout rifle out of his hand. Let him do his thing. Just made Aldrin save him? Osiris is not a bitch. The dude's the strongest guardian alive. But I am excited that we got Mr. Aldrin back. That means there's going to be a lot of stories aligning again. And I can't wait to kind of see what's going on. But remember the office part where we had Zavala, you know, with Osiris and like the Cabal? Maybe those guys are working together because maybe the hive stuff is happening maybe on a Cabal territory.
We warned you it was going to be dangerous down here. Impossible.
Boom. I kind of like how they snuck that in.
We finally catch up to what we saw at the end of Forsaken, where we saw Aldrin being brought back to life by a ghost.
Aldrin, who now refers to himself as Crow, he doesn't know what he did. The slate's been wiped clean when he was resurrected as a Guardian.
We know what he's done, and we know what he could be capable of doing. So now we're going to spend some time watching him go back and forth. And that's going to question how we look at him, how we look at ourselves, how we look at the light, how we look at darkness.
In Season of the Hunt, we're partnering with the Crow and Osiris to take down the High Celebrant. It's creating these cryptoliths around the system, and those cryptoliths are attracting Elixian Cabal and corrupting them. So Xivu Arath is essentially corrupting herself and army, and it's our job to put a stop to it.
Oh, okay. Did you guys hear what she just said?
That's going to question
right.
how we look at
We're partnering with the Crow and Osiris to take down the High Celebrant. It's creating these cryptoliths around the system, and those cryptoliths are attracting Elixian Cabal and corrupting them.
Boom. You see that? So it's
Xivu
attracting
Arath is
Elixian
essentially
Cabal and
herself
corrupting
army,
them.
and it's our
So I
job
guess
to
what's
put a stop
happening
to it.
here is
I'm really excited
that's
to
why
see
in that office
Xivu Arath fleshed out more.
we had, you know, Zavala and the Cabal, because those guys are currently, you know, being detained and being turned over. So now that makes a lot of sense.
And to find out more about her relationship with Savathun and what that means for year 4 of Destiny.
Savathun has been placing dominoes, and at the end of year 4, she's going to knock down the dominoes. We're going to see what she's been really up to.
Thank you,
and
Joe.
so
Look at that.
this year, she's putting the last pieces in place.
Man. At first I thought that was a Shrieker, man. Right?
The last pieces in place.
At first I thought this was a Shrieker. But if you look closer, I feel like you can see like a doll body. Like this looks like legs. That looks like a head. But I'm just going crazy. It's probably just a Shrieker. Right? Is it? Is it just a Shrieker? Are we sure? Oh, Savathun in there. You know, like Bungie's good at just like leaving little crumbs.
Destiny
man.
is just a really incredible world, and there are so many stories for us to tell.
We have a lot to
I'm
look
kind of
forward to
glad that
beyond
there's a
Light,
bunch of
the
story
Witch
coming
Queen,
together
the
right
Lightfall,
now.
and all the seasonal content between. We feel like we've got a really great way to bring people together. Working through COVID and working through some of the other turmoil in the world right now has been really challenging.
I have to admit, I've been pleasantly surprised with how well we've been able to get things done.
I appreciate it. I can't wait to
committed
play.
to your characters and your community of players. We want to meet you where you are.
Boom.
I think the thing that excites me the most about Destiny's future is how much it's rooted in where we come from.
Seeing villains revealed and finding out secrets that we've been hinting at for years.
When I look at the team that we're building and continuing to grow and hire, the new leaders that are coming up in Destiny, that gets me super excited.
Destiny's best days are ahead of us.
So yeah, I watched the Vidoc. I kind of gave you guys, what I caught in there. Destiny is one of those things where there's a major release, everyone comes back, they play it, they might leave or whatever because after a time, we're content. We eat a lot of content really quick, right? We consume it, like we love content. That's why we're always waiting for Bungie to give us more content, more content, more content. But you know what? The build up to this is awesome, and I can't wait to dive into this November 10th with you guys. Remember, I'm going to be live at twitch.tv/Ekuegan, and I'm live every day for about 10 to 11 hours. If you have any questions or anything, please make sure you pass by, say hello. I'll do my best to answer. Also, another thing, I will be doing some weapon reviews, and I will put that up as well, weapons and stuff that I should save for. I will be making a guide in armor that I feel like most people should farm for, and the best way to get that, especially if, everything's going to have a universal slot. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Remember, leave a cool comment. This wave 3 can be yours, all right? Remember that. Also, everyone stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in Beyond Light. Let's go, baby. Yeah.